Yep. What?
Hello and welcome to the Deep GMBA podcast. My name's Sean and joining me today is the one and only Marco Holden Jeffrey. Mr. Jeffrey, my man, how are we?
Good, Sean. Pretty good. Just got off a red eye from Darwin, specifically to watch Game 4 and record this podcast with you.
This is extremely podcaster coded. Zach, I just got off a freaking red eye and there's nothing I'd rather do right now than podcast and talk about the Knicks. Hey!
Wow. New era.
We have new mics. Let me just pull the levels down on that old blue eyes. And up. And back down. Man, this must be how real podcasters feel. Yeah, we fixed the studio.
Yeah, legit. Is this the first time you've used the soundboard?
This is dangerous.
No, timeout. No, you didn't.
No. When we did the Foremans, I did them in post, the dings.
Yeah, I remember
Because Alessio would say a hilarious gag, and then it'd be like, ding that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, why'd he call me a dingbat? But no, he was asking me to ding it in post. Kicker pod... we'll get it in post. Famous Marco saying there.
Wait, was that going anywhere, or was that just...
No, that wasn't.
The end of the saying?
So, yeah, there's actually... How good's a pod when there's so much to talk about? Yeah. We need to talk about the new mics and excuse people for if there's any errors, and please congratulate us if we do anything funny with the sound effects. We need to talk about Darwin for you, but maybe we save that for after the first topic, which is... the aforementioned song talking about the New York Knicks.
It was going to get old real quick, but
first,
it's never going to get old.
Pearl Jam. You already know I had to have that on that soundboard.
Wow.
And we'll just fade that. Do you want to talk about Darwin?
Wow.
You want to talk about
Jr.
Do you want to talk about the Knicks first?
I can tell you about Darwin quickly if you like.
Yeah, go on.
Man, it's beautiful up there. During the dry season, it's 31 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, no wind, low humidity every single day.
Holy fuck! I thought you were going to tell me humid. That's fucking awesome, bro.
No, not humid. Not humid. I had the full range of experiences you can have up there. You know, go eat good Malaysian food. We went to this cultural festival on an indigenous community, like 2 hours south of Catherine or something, which was sick. It was just like, there were AFL games from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m, art, battle of the bands. Some of the kids from the local school and a traditional owner like took us on a tour of the community. So that was really special. Went bloody camping at Litchfield National Park, swam in a waterfall. Spent all day at the infinity pool at Mindle Beach Casino.
Crazy, man.
Which is, I don't know if you have you ever been to I don't think you have, but have you ever been to a beach club in Bali?
No, I've never been to Bali, let alone a beach club.
Okay, well, it's like if a beach club in Bali had no one at it except 6 retirees, but they were still playing the same like tropical house music. And
whoa, interesting. Because my next thought was, a lot of goanna and Australian crawl.
No,
yeah,
it was like
cool.
It was actually like, this is way too full on. It's it's Tuesday afternoon, and there are 6 people here. Like, chill, please chill.
I could also tell you were having a good time because you weren't taking many pictures. And
no.
The pictures that you did send were pictures of you that other people had taken, which is bloody beautiful.
Yeah, or like bloody beer and a bit of landscape, mate. You know, that's what I love.
And bloody cheeky Garrett. and a guri to Ella Fushk. Friend of the program.
Happy 30th, yeah. My oldest friend. She's 30.
That's a good bit. All right. Bing bong, huh?
Yeah.
The freaking New York Knicks. NBA Finals Game 4. All of our predictions are on the line. All of our heads are on the line. Obviously, all picking the Spurs, even though Lucas and Dante saved themselves at the last moment in the group chat, saying, kind of talking myself into the Knicks here. But I was like, no, don't be stupid. I'm publishing this I'm publishing this graphic with all of our names on it. And they came back in Game 3, the San Antonio Spurs, And then in Game 4, it was the largest halftime lead ever.
I think it was the biggest NBA Finals comeback ever. So it was 2008 Finals. Was it 26 points? Maybe.
What I was trying to say was this was the largest deficit by the road team.
Oh, really?
By the home team ever at halftime in a finals game.
Jesus.
And that's cherry picking, right? Because you've obviously said a stat to pick up, but yeah, whatever it was gargantuan. It was unbelievable. I had a Knicks fan who won't be listening to this, but Michael Altamara, if you are, he posted something at halftime where it was just like a Marge Simpson gif where it was like, oh, how come you always disappoint me? And it was a photo of the Knicks. And then he reshared the OG Anunoby game winner that said, I'm feeling feelings I've never felt before. How do you want to start? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know.
Maybe Og, or that Dylan Harper 360.
Let's talk about Og generally, because I think he's
the Finals MVP.
Yeah, I think he's been the most consistent player for the Knicks on both ends of the court. Mm-hmm. I think he's probably, I don't know, is he the best two-way player in the league in terms of actual defensive impact? Or actually impacting both sides of the ball. You know, you got like Kawhi Leonard, who maybe don't spend a lot of time actually making defensive plays anymore. I mean, probably Victor Wembanyama is the answer to that question.
Yeah, but in terms of wings, like 3-and-D wings, where it's like, okay, Kawhi's got such a heavy offensive burden. Like, OG's always been a 3-and-D role player, but in this finals run, and also like he's been doing it in the regular season, but this finals run, like he's creation on the offensive end while also guarding like smaller, quicker guys the whole entire time. Like he was on De'Aaron Fox the whole entire time, especially when he got that block right at the end of the game with 29 seconds remaining. He's guarding smaller, quicker guys, and he is keeping up with them when physically he shouldn't. I think he might be 30 years old now, right? Yeah. Like that's usually when, you know, the Robert Covingtons of the world go, all right, I guess I'm a power forward now.
Yeah.
And he's doing it while also shouldering such an offensive load. He's shooting better than Jalen Brunson. Just it's also a little bit to do with the role, but the shot making is fricked off its head.
Yeah. He's creating his own shot. He's taking extremely late shot clock threes in particular. Like those little, you know, jab steps in the corner have been so effective for him.
He hit a corner three over Wemby.
Yeah, which
that guy's
so
tall,
many people
man.
tried. Wemby, I feel like he got his fingers to 2 or 3 corner threes today, and it was like, that's broken. We should probably put this guy in jail.
The second one, I think Miles McBride was just scared and hit it off the side of the back. I don't know if that one was a block. I'm sure it was credited as one, but
yeah.
OG Anunoby Finals MVP. OG Anunoby tip layup. Did you? I mean, you watched the replay and you're like, oh, he had a wide open.
Yeah.
He had a wide open three and then a wide open run to the lane. But the difficulty of shot to get your hand up there amongst two shots over Dylan Harper, who's been a good rebounder this whole playoff run, and then just like the control to tap it in and it goes in so beautifully.
It was so controlled. Like you could see in the replay, it really like stops in his hand. He's not just like slapping it. He's taking full control for like a quarter of a second or something. And like was that a good final play, like a deep Jalen Brunson 3? But on the other hand, you had Wemby out on the perimeter. You had no one guarding the inbound. So like OG was always going to be crashing the boards there. I'm not saying that's how they drew it up. But like the Knicks offense was, like OG was in the perfect scenario to take advantage of that situation. They obviously knew that if they could drag Wemby away from the basket as well, that's like the most important thing, because if you miss and he's there's no way you're getting, there's no way you're getting a tip. There's no way you're getting an offensive rebound. But
Wemby really was comfortable running out to Jalen Brunson, which I guess was the play. But then, they do open themselves up to offensive rebounds, but they did a really, like, it was clear that Steph Castle was told, there's not going to be Wemby. We're going to pull Wemby out because that's going to be the play, and you have to box out Cat. And Cat had, I would say, 0% chance of getting that offensive rebound. When you watch the play again, they did a really good job at stopping everyone apart from the guy who they didn't stop.
Who had the 30-foot run up. And
Mitch Johnson, while we're talking about tactical misplay, Mitch Johnson not going with a timeout late in the game. Not going with the timeout when De'Aaron Fox was dribbling the ball against two other players. There was OG Anunoby on his hip, who eventually blocked that shot with more than a shot clock remaining. But also there was another defender coming from the other side of the 3-point line who was going to be there to contest and get a rebound. We were talking about this a little bit. It did sort of work out because they got a timeout to run up a play. That was their final timeout to run up a play with Victor Wembanyama as a decoy and Steph Castle as the not 7'5" guy going for a lob.
Funnily enough, didn't work, did it?
Yeah, I completely get the decoy play, but also there's a reason why it's a decoy, because a tall guy who can catch the ball and tip dunk it in a setting where in an inbound you can. Remember that Tyson Chandler thing from 2015? You can goaltend, right?
Yeah.
That maybe don't run him as a decoy there.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk about the Spurs fall apart?
Yeah, well, because this was the first game, at points in the third quarter, when their offense was already starting to stink a bit. I was like, they've finally kind of figured out how to stop a Knicks run, because that's been their problem all series, is when the Knicks want to go on a run, they will go on a run. And I actually thought Mitch Johnson was being extremely smart. I guess that was in the second and third quarter with the Hacker Robinson calling a timeout as soon as the Knicks got a basket, and it worked. It really arrested their momentum. But it's he just threw that playbook out in that last quarter, because during that Knicks comeback, when they were 7 down, call a timeout. When they hit another shot and they're 4 down, call a timeout. When they went 1 down, I was like, this is the perfect time to call a timeout, because they're 100% going to score on the next possession.
They haven't led. They haven't led all game.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time.
Yeah.
If you just give up the lead, call a timeout. What about giving up the lead after 4 quarters of basketball?
Yeah. And then those last few minutes were actually not pretty sloppy for the Knicks. With Josh Hart missed that layup. Obviously, the live ball turnover that and then De'Aaron Fox gets blocked by OG. So they weren't. You could sort of see from after they went 1 point up. I think he called a timeout shortly after that, and it worked. The Knicks weren't completely focused anymore. It feels like a huge coaching misstep. And also you had figured it out in the second quarter. You had figured out how to arrest these Knicks runs and build up an almost 30-point lead.
Yeah, and also they were given the gift of Karl Anthony Towns' stupidity.
Oh my god,
he had 2 of the quickest fouls ever. That Wemby chicken wing, which in the end was maybe a foul on Wemby, but the first play, there was a little bit of contention about was that too far away to then be reviewable and called as part of the play, but it was. So Cat went out, and then because Cat went out, Mitchell Robinson came in early, and then you could activate the Hacker strategy, as you were saying. There were even Ariel Huck-Porty minutes. I'm here to report that in his 3 minutes, he was +3.
Congratulations.
It was served on a platter. It was served on a platter for you to win basketball games. Karl Anthony Towns also had his first points in a fourth quarter this whole series today, which was insane. He had that crazy step back. Was that labeled a 2 or 3?
I think that was a 3. Yeah.
That was insane. Then he had that one where he just bully balled Victor Wembanyama, which could have been a foul on either guy, more on Wemby. But the off-ball fouling, or just maybe even the on-ball fouling, Wemby has been getting hacked and chopped up. I don't want to sound like an OKC fan last series where they're just maybe don't foul Shea. But they're being extremely handsy with Wemby, and in the second half you could definitely see he was complaining a lot more to the refs. Wemby was, and he was turning around to the refs a lot. And it definitely it drained him. You can say that he was missing a lot of shots, but when you can get 3 guys standing underneath him and he's worried about getting fouled and he's worried about just getting pushed and not getting a call, he got his fair share of free throws for the game. He shot 8 of them. Sorry, 7 of them.
Yep.
But the job works. If you can just keep fouling him, just as we've seen, you can bring out the Isaiah Hartenstein playbook, you can win a game.
Yeah, and that appealing to the refs for fouls, Brunson and Cat were doing heaps of that in the first half as well. So this was obviously, I I think this is a great thing that the refs have put away their whistles in a sense in this series, because, like, I mean, if you're calling every single foul on Wemby,
I was quite overjoyed to see Zach Darber. Yeah, like, I don't want to sound like a yank, but Zach Darber getting the call, like he's probably one of the best refs. Like I've never seen him referee a game and be like, well, there's something wrong here. Yeah. Whereas like Scott Foster and some other guys, it's like, yeah, okay, the guy that looks like Scott Morrison.
Yeah. Oh, what's that guy called? So funny.
Not Monty
number
McCutcheon.
10.
Yeah, he's actually number 10.
But I mean, I like the physicalities on both sides, right? Like, one, Wemby's faced physicality all playoffs, and he's going to face it for his entire career. And they're probably not going to change the way they referee to make it easier for him, because he's already doing things that make it impossible to play basketball against him.
The fact that he was getting fouled and he was able to tap it to himself and then lay it up.
Yeah. Like, that's not a league issue. If people are being a bit physical, Wemby in that sense. But like, also, every single guard / wing on the Spurs does the same thing. Like, Castle, Harper, Vassell, like they're all bodying, big guys when they get switched onto them, and do a really good job. But if you could interpret the contact in a much more a much less player friendly way, or defender friendly way, I suppose. But it's just, man, we've had 4 good games of basketball.
So good. It's if you're Adam Silver, are you looking at this through the lens of refs have a lot of sway in these games, or are you looking at it through the lens of we've just had 4 of the greatest games of basketball?
Yeah,
I messaged Chess during work today, and she's like, "Oh, how's your day?" I was like, "Oh, I just saw the best game of basketball I've ever seen all year," and that's the 3rd time I've said this to you, right? Like maybe even the 5th time. Like some of those OKC games, especially game 1 OKC is. I don't think I'll ever forget that OKC Spurs, but I can't imagine myself forgetting any of these finals games. So. No. Yeah,
and we've encouraged these 2 teams that are like very physical, not in like a 2004 Detroit Pistons or 1989 Detroit Pistons sort of way, but like 2 teams that like rely on physicality, play really hard, press full court, are full of guys who just have more in the tank than other players in the league, and they've met in the finals. So that I think that, which is, and this is obviously New York Knicks effect. This will probably be the highest rated NBA finals since like 2016 or something.
Jamie, pull up that stat that you had on your screen before. I did. Ding. Game 3 drew 23.8 million viewers on ABC and ESPN, probably because a lot of the affordable tickets were priced out.
Wait, how many people were watching on the Dunked On stream?
Before we get to that, sorry, it was the most watched. Okay, asterisks, but most watched Game 3 in 28 years. The previous one being 1998, though.
Okay.
It generated more than 5 billion social media views. We know Adam Dirty Fingers loves that.
Adam the Lizard.
And then let's just see how many came onto the Dunked On stream. 3.8 thousand. Off, bro. Now what?
24.3 million viewers.
Well, that adds to that social media number. I just realized I'm gonna have to go in and bleep this because of Lukey and I are doing. We're putting a couple of dollars into the YouTube views, and I swore on my last podcast and it got rejected from the YouTube promotions. Yeah,
damn.
Anyways,
well, you got to get the dump button, and then I just get to talk for the next half an hour.
So. I've been listening to the Dunked On stream, and you said you wanted to save it for the pod. I'm all yours, mate.
I just want to know what it's like because I refuse to give it a go.
Well, they're about 20-ish seconds behind the real game. So you just pause the NBA stream until their clock. They've got a shot of the clock, so you pause it until your clocks line up.
It's not even integrated. It's
It is integrated. They do have it's called the strategy stream during the regular season. They have an alternate stream. Would you believe they didn't get the call up for the NBA finals? So that's how that works, and it's just a lot of like calling out players and just calling out.
Okay.
Yeah, so you. 1945. There's a lot of just calling out stuff and just saying, oh, like something will happen and be like, oh, that's Vassell's fault. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
right.
Champagne's
Okay.
fault for that play.
But so they're not giving you the like play-by-play.
They are.
like,
They are.
okay.
They're giving you the play-by-play and they're saying. This seems like an advert for him a little bit. You can check him out at Nate Duncan on YouTube.
Use our code. Sean,
Use our code.
Sean
the deep dude.
NESPN.
All right.
Sorry. I'm being cruel. No, but let's go back to the basketball in 1 second, but just on the broadcast.
Yeah. So I didn't know what Richard Jefferson was doing. If I buried your leg.
Richard Jefferson and Tim Legler terrible. Just bad. Just like.
It's better than Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, but they seem to not like each other, but not in like not in a fun way. Like they just kind of are making digs at each other and disagreeing on everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mike Green's Mike Green. That's fine. Like he's, I think he's probably he has just crested the hill, and he's not the best play-by-play announcer in the sport anymore. Like occasionally he says he just doesn't know what's going on.
And he's so loud that he's like, what are they doing here?
Yeah.
Like they're inbounding the ball. Yeah, okay. I always just put that down to it's pretty busy in the stadium and the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So am I wrong?
But I think he's maybe one of those play-by-play guys who usually just like hears the whistle every time, knows what the call is.
Okay.
Like there's a few times where he's been like, it's so loud in here, I haven't heard the whistle.
Yeah, he does say that. God, I just don't really think critically sometimes, and that makes me sound so stupid. But I'm just so positive to entertainment.
Yeah. No, and he's that. I think the most important thing is he's entertaining. He's not an idiot. And he's got a good voice. Like that's
Yeah. And he says the things. Have you heard him say bang?
Yeah.
Gags, bro.
But so back to game 4. I mean, how do you feel about the Spurs' chances for the rest of the series?
I caught up with a few friends on Monday, King's birthday Monday, and they're like, Sean, mate, I saw you predicted Spurs in 5. What are you doing now, right? And I was like, oh, Spurs in 6. This was before game 3.
Yeah.
Because today's Thursday and game 3 was on Tuesday. And they're like, what do you mean Spurs in 6? I was like, well, look at the last 3 minutes of game 2. It was a 13-0 run, and then there was a huge mistake from Wemby, and then he had a shot to win the game, and it was like it was a pretty good shot. It was pretty open. Like even though Mitchell Robinson gets glazed for some reason, it was a pretty open shot. And if that goes in, that's like a 40% shot. If that goes in, they've won the game. All of a sudden it's 1-1. Then they go into game 3. They convincingly win-ish. And then they're up 2-1. And then you go into this game, and if it wasn't for a historic collapse, they're up 3-1, which is the opposite of what it is right now. And like, it's revisionist history to say, oh, if that shot goes in, or if they just don't give up a 29-point lead. Like there were some systematic / young team issues going on for them to lose that 29-point lead. Like, and I said this in the group chat where it's like, okay, they've just gone on like a 10 or 13-0 run. Okay, well, De'Aaron Fox is coming in. He's supposed to be the guy that calms everyone down. It's like, well, De'Aaron Fox is on 1.5 ligaments, and he
can't get past any defender.
He got past OG once in the past 2 games, and I was like, wow. And he was the inaugural clutch player of the year, but grain of salt, right? Sorry, I need to have my finger on that. It's they don't really have it made me think sadly about Chris Paul. Imagine if Chris Paul was still in this team, you could bring him in and he just dribbles the ball for 22 seconds and then he goes, even if I have to take a step back, it just calms everything down, takes the air out of the arena and the ball. They didn't really have that. So it's just running, and then so much stuff gets bumped around with Wemby, and then they're like, oh, far out. Well, I'm either taking a step back or I'm throwing it to him. Then you throw it to him, and then the shot clock's the third defender, and there's no one to just calm everything down. Yeah. And as soon as their shots weren't falling incredibly, then it just doesn't happen. And this was sort of Mitch Johnson's last card. So I will eventually answer your question about how I feel about the Spurs after here. Victor Wembanyama played 44 minutes. Luke Cornett played 4. Luke Cornett was -2 in his minutes, and you imagine if he played any more, that number would be extrapolated out. This is the fix that we've been calling for is just play Wemby the whole game. This is playing Wemby the whole game. This is it. Dylan Harper played 32 minutes, freaking 21 points on 8 of 12.
Yeah. Woo. He's unreal.
Carter Bryant played 5, scored 5 points in those minutes, had a cool steal against Cat and got blocked.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was against Jordan Clarkson. All their starters played a lot of minutes. Julian Champagny played a really bad game, 1 of 7 from 3. But this is the optimized rotation, right? Like there's nothing more you can do. Like the way they're resting Wemby with like 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, that's fine. Like that's practically 48 minutes. And they still played really well for 2.5 quarters of basketball.
Yeah.
So I still feel that there's a chance, especially if you've got the best player on the court, right? So it's Victor Wembanyama or OG Anunoby, right? Ding. If you've got the best player on the court, then you can win this series, and you should never be counted out. Just like LeBron James when he was down 3-1 against the Warriors, it's going to be really hard. And LeBron had all the experience in the world with an extremely veteran-laden roster, and there's only young guys. This is screaming the first sort of road bump that this team experiences along their way, that they're going to come back to the playoffs next season, and like as soon as they're up, like the Spurs lost a game against the Trailblazers, right? Does that mean that Trailblazers title contenders? Like, no, it just means they've got veterans on their team. The next season, when the Spurs are the 1-8 or the 2-7 against the Trailblazers, they're gonna be up 40 points in game 2 or 3, and they're just gonna put them away. And there's not gonna be 5 threes from Scoot Henderson coming out. They're just gonna know that they can't play around with their food, and because they're gonna be burnt by this year's final series. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think you're maybe being a bit too easy on them for the meltdowns, and just like the complete inability to execute on offense in the late game, because like, again, like we were talking about Mitch Johnson calling a timeout, but if you're a Spurs player and you're 7 points down, 4 points down, 1 point down, 7 points up, 4 points up, 1 point up, 1 point down, you have to do something. Like
like De'Aaron Fox passing it between two guys, shit like that.
The possession after the Knicks went up for the first time, there was just no game plan. Like it was like a Fox Wemby pick and roll, but like with no kind of intention or anything like that. And like for that to happen successively over an entire quarter of basketball, like is a problem. And you're right, like it will just. They're so unbelievably young, and they've just had like probably the best playoff experience you can get, like a 7-game series against who everyone thought was like the next dynasty of the NBA, and then like whatever happens in this series against a really like a very experienced Knicks team. Like there's playoff experience all over the place on this roster outside of this era of the Knicks as well, right? So yeah, I think you're 100% correct in that. I would maybe look at it as like, I mean, they have such a higher ceiling. No, not such a higher ceiling, but like that first Mazzulla era with the Boston Celtics, where it was just like, okay, he's not a playoff ready coach. At the moment. And like the team, I mean, that's exactly what would happen to them. They would just melt down in late game situations, as players and as a team being led by a head coach. And what did they do? They came back the next season and they just like waltzed to a championship.
Yeah, it's really hard to win a title. Victor Wembanyama's 22 years old. And the team, as I've sort of been banging on a bit, like they're not done. They're not optimized. No. Like this team's not ready. No. Like you're looking at the box score and you're like, okay, who can step in for some minutes? Harrison Barnes did play minutes. He can't. You've got Kelly Olynyk, Lindy Waters, Bismack Biyombo, Mason Plumlee, and Jordan McLaughlin. Like 3 of those people I just named are there to push Victor Wembanyama in practice so he doesn't injure Luke Cornett, right? Like that's not an optimized roster. Like there's no other. Carter Bryant in a couple of years might be starting, but like you can't inject Carter Bryant and say, all right, give us a different look. Just how Mike Brown can say, all right, Miles McBride hasn't made a shot in weeks. Here's Jordan Clarkson. And then he wasn't going too well. Here's Jose Alvarado.
Well, like, those minutes with Jose and Brunson on the floor when they won the game, basically. Yeah.
Funny message when I said to you, hey, how do you feel about a New Orleans Pelicans closing the game for a finals team? And you said, which one? And I went, oh, Lord.
They're everywhere. They're all over the league, man.
There's a lot of former Pels. I think it might be a recipe to success. Which former Pel or current Pel can the Spurs trade for this offseason to turn into a title contender?
Well, Trey Murphy III would probably round their roster out completely.
Yeah, Darren Fox. Do you need another point guard? Like Jeremy Sohan minutes. I'm not going to pretend they were good.
That was terrible. That was. But that was like their fourth. That's their fourth center option, right? Ariel Huckporty's getting threes drained in his face. Let's put Jeremy Sohan to suffer the same fate.
Mikal Bridges, not incredible stinker. Only played 28 minutes. He had 7 points on 3 of 9. -2, funnily enough. Jalen Brunson, first almost positive shooting game. He's been shooting in the threes. He shot 12 of 25 today.
And he had a really... it wasn't that bad, actually. But, like, he started the game really poorly. I think he was 1 of 5 on his, his first 5 shots. And missing free throws as well. They missed a lot of free throws in the first half. They were 15 of 23.
Yeah, which didn't help. Also, a bit of hacker Mitch there.
I just do want to bang the gavel on Dylan Harper. I said, my housemate Richard Crabtree, aka Crab, who's a Spurs fan, and is when he gets home at 2 p.m, he's asking for no spoilers for the NBA games, which I respected. But I said to him today, I'm like, could Dylan Harper be the second best player in the league in 3 years? He's so good.
His ceiling just keeps rising. And someone on Twitter was like, oh man, if he develops a jump shot, he'll be the best player in the league. And then someone shared a graphic of like Ben Simmons and all the guys, Markel Fultz and stuff. But he has a jump shot. He's just been defended by Knicks in the finals, right? They're a good D, and they've got good taller guys on him. And he was 3-6 today. He's not a bad shooter. No. He's just, what is he, 20 years old, 21 years old?
Yeah, 20 years old, I think.
Jamie Poole.
And and like the same 20 years old. Born in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey.
Beautiful part of the world.
But the same
this time of year as well.
The same thing we're saying about OG, where like he's attacking the rim. Like his offensive game is so physical. It's so like penetrate the paint, bang up against other bodies. I mean, he's also hitting, like catch and shoot threes. He's hitting some nice, like he hit that lovely little turnaround midi on OG that had him falling over.
Crazy.
And then he's defending Jalen Brunson on the other end.
And he's not doing bad.
He's doing as best as you can against a player like that.
And Steph Castle as the two next to him, I think it's incredible. Like it's always, you can't really just have one ball handler on a team. And so this guy's got a ball handler next to him for the next 5+ years who can defend the harder option, even though you just said that Dylan Harper can also just hold his own. And if Steph Castle's jump shot comes around a little bit more, it becomes like a more of a higher volume guy. Even if he doesn't really, like maybe Dylan Harper's going to be that high volume guy in the backcourt.
For sure.
Really good. They just need to, delete De'Aaron Fox. Can't do that soon enough.
Well, only a few more games, Sean.
Final predictions. What's happening from here?
I think Spurs take it to 3-2, game 5. I genuinely think the Knicks win game 6 at the Garden. I think that's like a burn down the city sort of event.
Don't burn it all the way down. I'll be there in July. My prediction, it's hard to go past France, but just the continuity of Spain, it's going to be hard to turn away. I think you're spot on. Knicks in 6. Victor Wembanyama is going to shave his head again. He's still going to have that sort of diamond avatar shape on his chin. He's going to rock up wearing like some traditional monk dress or whatever. What do you call it?
Shaolin robe. Yeah.
He's going to score 20 points in the first half, and then it's going to be a blowy. Game 6, Knicks will close it out. If not, we are in for a sick day.
Again, I don't have this up in front of me, but I like the fact that Wemby is playing 44 minutes in the finals and probably has played over 40 minutes 8 times in his NBA career. It's not good. Like, he'll get there.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I was wondering where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Let's take a break before we hit some news of the week.
You want to talk WNBA? Maybe some WNBL? Australian Opals chat? Heck, even dabble in some EuroLeague? Find the W Basketball Show on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
All right, we are back for part 2. Just before we get into some of the news of the week, I've got a little bit of trivia for Marco. Trivia for Marco. So
Ding that.
Dylan Harper had 21 points today, which takes him to a total of 300 points this playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
That would put him at least 6th, because I can only see the top 5. He doesn't crack the top 5 for most points scored by a rookie in one single postseason run.
Yeah.
Can you name... Look, one of them's a guy called Alvin Adams. Can you name any of the other 4 guys ahead of him in single... all-time rookie scoring total for a single playoff run?
Irvin Magic Johnson?
No.
Really?
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain?
No.
Far out.
Not a big winner. You got to think of...
Oh, yeah, who've gone to the finals in their rookie season.
Yeah. I'll tell you the old people and you tell me 2 young people.
Okay.
Elgin Baylor, 331 points in the 58-59 season.
Yep.
Elvin Adams, as mentioned, 340. And number 1 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I was going to say Kareem. Yeah, I was going to say Kareem. Yeah.
So then you've got 2 guys just before the pandemic.
Just before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Rookies.
Rookie.
In a finals run.
Doesn't have to be a finals run.
True.
But a lot of points for a rookie. And obviously a deep run helps.
No, I fully have no idea.
Tyler Hero. 335. 35 more points.
In 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jason Tatum, 351 points in 17-18, which seems way too high.
Yeah.
They play 4 7-game series.
Yeah. I hope Dylan Harper cracks that.
Yeah. So what, if he plays, in our eyes, 2 more games, he has to score 50 total points.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to come down to it.
It's doable.
Now that we've got sound effects, I was going to say, did you ever listen to the Ricky Gervais podcast?
Yeah, briefly.
And with Carl Pilkington?
Yeah.
And Stephen Merchant. And so they would do Monkey News, and they had a little jiggle.
Right. Jingle?
Jingle. They had a jingle for Monkey News where they would just... Do you remember Monkey News?
No, I don't remember Monkey News.
So they would just search monkey into news and then just read the top headline.
Yeah,
it was Monkey escapes Wisconsin Zoo, eats a banana, right?
Yeah. Eats a banana. Likely story.
And then so they would search up Monkey News, and then Carl had to say whether it was bull or not. Far out. 2:30. Carl had to say whether it was bull crud or not. And they used to always play a jingle where it was no. So maybe I got to get a news jingle.
What animal would we choose?
No.
For the news?
Would it be monkey themed?
Just
a theme.
I mean, you won't really care for this, but the footy with Broden Kelly would always play one of those kind of ABC news sort of news
I do listen to that pod sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Specifically one episode over and over again when the Auntie Donna guys came on.
Oh.
So what we have is Records Crash, bit too cool. This is called Fireball, which is
that's a Bill Simmons. No, that's a Zach Lowe show.
Yeah. Well, it's every podcast.
Yeah.
I used to call it Whoosh when I used to do that.
Whoosh.
We've got. Can you tell we recorded a podcast in COVID? We've got the Among Us sound for dead body detected. This was for Alessio.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the news theme, everyone.
Good Lord.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
When you hear that, you're going to get some news, probably about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yep.
Whoa, segue. The Miami Heat have been pegged as the quote team to watch unquote this summer when it comes to a potential Giannis Antetokounmpo trade. That's coming from the Miami Herald, Barry Jackson and Anthony Chang. There was a report this morning that said that the Bucks are waiting till the finals finish before making a Giannis trade. That was it was this morning before the game, because they said the Knicks might want to get involved in there if they would lose the NBA championship or win. I don't want to rule that out. That report's aged poorly, but yeah, the Heat are currently winning in their eyes. So the Heat have the 13th pick this year. They owe their pick next year to Charlotte, lottery protected, and then they control all of their own future first round picks after this. Young players of note, extreme huge asterisks on note: Pell Larson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Khalil Ware, and that's it. And Tyler Hero, a Milwaukee fan who grew up in Milwaukee, and I've just finished reading the Giannis book by Miran Fader, and he is quoted as Milwaukee Bucks superfan and NBA All-Star. So Tyler Hero,
which is true.
Which is true. So that would be the sort of salary going back. Apparently, there is not going to be any Bam Adebayo whatsoever. So what do you think about the Heat winning? I mean, Dante did put a embargo on any Giannis chatter until it happens, but I think this is a huge step towards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they will do everything they can, like bar trading Bam Adebayo. Like that does seem like the limit and would kind of be counterintuitive. But like, yeah, I'm sure they're going to do everything they can to get him this offseason. I don't think they have the best package. Like,
no.
What would you go with, Portland over them, or
I would go with so many teams.
Yeah.
Just because it's on my screen, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte can give Miami's pick next year lottery protected and all of theirs.
Yeah.
That instantly beats you.
Yeah, and Miami, under the new lottery rules, they could have a pretty good pick.
Yeah. They're not going to bottom out.
But yeah, I guess the only thing that you maybe would swing the needle here is how much say Giannis is going to have over what destination he wants to go to. And if like New York aren't involved, like Miami, you have to imagine Miami would be his first choice, right? Like
he said, I think he did say that.
Yeah.
I think he said wherever it is he wants to be in the East, and I'm sure that's for lifestyle because it's close to Greece.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that's also for ease of
conference,
ease of conference access. So Brian Windhorst reported this week that Giannis is believed to prefer a trade to the Heat.
Yeah,
he has also mentioned Boston as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, there's been like a Jaylen Brown, Giannis, maybe even a third team sort of
for a while.
Dealio for a while.
Although Jaylen Brown in that trade getting rerouted to Portland for the Milwaukee picks, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They don't really need more 3-and-D wings though.
That would be cool, but again, like it just doesn't strike me as a Boston move to make. But maybe given their lack of success the last few years, that they need to change track.
Yeah. What is a Boston move now? Like you can't just keep drafting.
Yeah, the best white shooter and
turning him into what's his name? Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah. So I don't know. Look, I'm on the fence about Giannis trade rumors at the moment because again, like I think when it happens, it'll be like to a place he wants to go for a fine package that's probably less than his value, but also his value probably isn't. Like
it's 31.
It's not, it's not great. Like I don't think anyone's getting 2 unprotected firsts and 2 pick swaps. And a good young player.
And now with the new lottery rules, you can't say, all right, let's give him a top 5 protected pick, and then you just tank and just guarantee you keep that pick, right? Because if you tank, you're not going to keep that pick. The lottery odds are nearly flat.
You have to be like, we have to be okay.
Well, we have to be okay and then be lucky.
Exactly.
So let's put an embargo back on that. The Charlotte Hornets have discussed a Domantas Sabonis deal with the Sacramento Kings, coming from Sam Amick of The Athletic. The Hornets have a large amount of expiring salary. I think in this report there was also a tiny little report that Miles Bridges is on the on the out / likely getting moved in a big deal like this, or just moving on from the Charlotte Hornets anyway. Charlotte control / have the 14th and 18th pick in this year's draft, and the Kings are prioritizing salary relief. What do you think about Domantas going to a feel-good Hornets team?
It would be like a short-term move. I feel like I don't think the next great Hornets team is LaMelo Ball, Concanibal, and Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah.
Like, just most... I don't hate the fit, I guess. In that, I guess Sabonis has had success with, like, shifty ball handler and good shooters. But, like, I just don't know what the ceiling for Domantas Sabonis is. Like, I'm still just not convinced that you can be, like, a playoff team. Well, you can make the playoffs. I don't think you can win a playoff series with him as your starting center. So I reckon it would have to be a bit of a, like, okay, do we just get, like, a productive guy like that who can kind of, steady the ship during the season? Especially, like LaMelo, he's just going to keep missing games.
What if it's for LaMelo?
That's... No. I would hate that.
So he's owed $120 million over the next 3 years after this, just over 120 mil. You would hate that for both teams or just Kings?
I think I would like that for the Kings.
Yeah, because you would like that for the Kings.
Well, I wouldn't like it for the Hornets.
Oh man, I'd love it for the
Really?
Hornets. Yeah, so you re-sign Kobe White. Con has got a bit of playmaking. Brandon Miller's got a smaller.
You can't open this discussion with you re-signing Kobe White, Sean.
Kobe White is not going to be getting paid $40 million,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
He's quite good, right?
But then, so you're going, all right, this is Concanibul's team, and Domantas Sabonis is his.
And Brandon Miller.
I keep forgetting about Brandon Miller. I really like Brandon Miller. Yeah.
And then in this, like, because if it is a LaMelo for Domantas spot, the money almost works. Domantas gets paid 45 and LaMelo's 40.
Yeah.
So then you could keep Miles Bridges if you're that way inclined, or just again move him for whatever you can. But like, you're not giving up multiple pieces for one. So you're definitely capping yourself, right? But like a Domantas Sabonis with 3 good players around him, team in the East, like well coached, deep, like that's a top 6 seed.
Yeah, and we're hopefully the thing with Sabonis is you just hope you can kind of phase him in and out of being the focus of the offense, because like if there's such a hard cap on a team where Sabonis is your 1A like offensive option, right? Yeah. And they've got other great creators there outside of LaMelo Ball anyway. I guess I think moving on from players like LaMelo Ball probably is just a good idea to do.
I mean, he wasn't drafted by this front office. And
it was like the Trae Young move where it was like, all right, well, we haven't really. It's not like we're moving on from Trae Young to something very clear, but like the Hawks got immediately better and started figuring things out as soon as he went out the door. I think like your point guard who is pretty erratic and can't defend. If you've been stuck in the same spot with him for a while, then it might be a good time to move on.
But then the counterpoint is they did take a big leap last year. Melo was part of that, and he was healthy.
And I hate to say it, if I'm in a playoff series, I would 100% prefer to have LaMelo Ball over Domantas Sabonis. Like you can see how he will. Well, you can. God, what a career he's had. But you can imagine how he would thrive in a playoff series in a way that you can't imagine Sabonis thriving, and in fact have seen him not thrive.
That's true. But he's only getting paid 1 more year after this. So that's true. So he's
Sabonis is
Sabonis. He expires at the end of the season following.
So that would be it. It would be get LaMelo out the building, have Sabonis there for a year to like firm you up as like the 5th or 6th seed, and then get a better option. Next is next.
I really like that as like a stepping stone player. You know, in soccer / football, you see of those guys where it's like when City became the richest club in the world, they had stepping stone players to get them up. Sort of treat him like a stepping stone player. So maybe your final outcome is Jalen Duren, right? And then, but you don't get him for 5 years from now.
Jalen Duren, the Charlotte Hornets, if only. And look, I don't want to get too meta here, but if you're the Charlotte Hornets, maybe this is all you can dream of. They're not a storied franchise.
That's true. Yeah, but this front office has
they've made some really good moves,
but they've also made moves that are like, hey, we want to win basketball games in the long term and have a long term.
Exactly,
which is this. It's a bit Kingsy to trade for Domantas Sabonis, which is, I guess, why you're trading for whatever.
Very briefly, LaMelo Ball and the Kings. Does it matter?
Oh, freak,
does anything matter that happens on that roster anymore? Like,
So-
there are actually 29 teams in the NBA. Like,
Their starting lineup would be LaMelo, Zach LaVine, DeAndre Hunter, DeMar DeRozan, and the French center.
oh yeah, Reno.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah.
God, it's
And-
so funny.
That is hilarious. They're also...
That's four, like, I mean, no, DeMar DeRozan, legend in a way, but that's like some serious flameouts, like across your starting five.
And Westbrook, if they bring him
Yeah.
back. That's horrible. And I didn't even mention Keegan Murray, whose extension kicks in next season. They, unless they make a salary shedding move, also they're still paying Malik Monk $20 million a year. Unless they make a salary shedding move, they are over the luxury tax.
Yeah, right. Wow.
I think it's like 190. It's 198, and they've got 199 on their books. So if they trade Sabonis for LaMelo, they'll be $5 million under. So they'll have $4 million to fill out six
What
roster
a
spots.
terrible move. What a terrible position to be in. God.
And they're not even going to fix it because they just signed what's his name's crony.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's nice to hear Charlotte in the discussion. Would have been nice to see them make the playoffs,
Yeah.
but alas.
Yeah. Moving on.
Rival suitors are, quote, already starting to circle, unquote, in anticipation of pursuing Knicks wing Landry Shamet in free agency, according to Mark Stein. This seems like an agent favour to me.
Yeah.
He is, at best, a taxpayer mid-level exception guy. I don't think many teams are looking at his run of making 11 of 13 threes against poor competition, going, he can do that for me on a Tuesday in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but it's also just classic when someone like that performs in the finals to just get undeserved attention.
The World
I
Cup
would
bump.
say he's been, although I don't know,
He's
aside
been really
from
good on
shooting,
D.
Yeah, he's been really good on D, which is just not the Landry Shamet that I know and love.
Yeah, no one hate. Few draft reports coming from Sam Vecini. He said that the Hawks, who have the 8th overall pick, have explored trade down scenarios. Another report is that the Mavericks are taking Braden Burries, a 20-year-old guard, with the 9th pick. Braden Burries is represented by Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, and he's angling his way to get to Dallas. This is a new front office, but this is sort of the second time they've done this. Remember they did this with Derek Lively, where they're like, hey, you're our guy, don't work out for anyone else. Sorry, I should mention he's not working out for anyone else. He's just working out for the Mavs.
Yeah.
The Mavs are really, have really been just saying, hey, we found our guy. No one talked to us for 3 weeks. We're not trading. We're not doing this. If they are going this Derek Lively route again with Braden Burries, it'll be interesting to see if another team calls their bluff and says, well, so they've got the 9th pick. If the Hawks have the 8th pick and they trade it to someone, would you just draft him and say, all right, we'll give you him for the 9th pick, but just give us like a couple of seconds. Is anyone ballsy enough to do that?
Yeah, but I mean, is the juice worth the squeeze to maybe end up with a guy you don't want at the 8th pick?
No, it is not. And so we'll keep seeing the Dallas Mavericks pick their preferred player at 8 through 10.
I just they're I don't want to say crafty. They're kind of like an evil franchise, aren't they?
Yeah. They're becoming less evil.
Yeah, but they do kind of dodgy.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Oh, true. 1754.
Unbelievable. I can't believe that's the first time I swore. Usually I'm a sailor.
A potty mouth.
I'm a bloody I'm a bloody filthy moron.
Mama, there goes that man.
The Oklahoma City Thunder, God, that song goes on a little bit. The Oklahoma City Thunder are staying quiet. Sam Presti in his postseason press conference just kept citing internal improvement. He says, hey, I'm not going to trade my second-year defensive player of the year for the second year in a row, Chet Holmgren. I'm just going to assume he's going to get better. He's 24 years old. And he said, there were actually reports from outside the organization saying a Giannis trade is not going to happen. So we're probably going to see everyone come back, whether that be, and I talked about this in the quick time out with Sean Carroll, whether that be Lou Dort and Isaiah Hartenstein picking up, getting their team options picked up, or if it's them declining it and then signing for money across multiple years, just spreading it thin. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, talk about an evil franchise. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in two minds, right? Because I think this is the correct move, as in, if you want to be really, really generous to the Thunder, if J-Dub and maybe AJ Mitchell were healthy in the Western Conference Finals, you'd probably win, right?
Yeah, they're probably blowing a 29-point halftime lead today.
Yeah. And yeah, like it's really hard to be like, all right, we need to make major changes after the series that they had with the injuries that they had. On the other hand, like they're still kind of the most malleable franchise in the league. Like they have so many assets.
Yeah, just this one though.
Yeah.
Just this offseason.
Yeah,
It all gets hard.
Yes,
after
that's
this.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, you've still got all this draft capital. Your books are still like, they're on the precipice of like locking you into whatever team you're going to be, plus, minimum guys for the next 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Or having to make one of those, oh shit, we have to trade out $60 million a year superstar and not recoup proper value on them moves. So yeah, Sam Presti's, it's got a pretty good track record, but yeah, like if I was ever going to do anything, I would be looking at doing it this offseason, even though it doesn't seem like the kind of smart thing to do.
Yeah. The options just aren't a seamless fit though. Like it is hard to find a guy who fits around. I mean, I guess it's not really. Like you've got a 1, 3, and a 5, right? Yeah. You've got Chet, J-Dub, and Shea. Like, can you bring in a Derek White type? Yeah. You've already got Alex Caruso, so not really. Yeah. This is their last chance. I think what they're going to do is play the long game and play it as we've mentioned, but focus a lot more on veterans and just sort of getting rid of the Nikola Topiches of the world. In the conference, they said that they were high on Thomas Sorber and what he can be. He's their center who tore his ACL before his rookie season, but he's 6'9".
Yeah, right.
So he's sort of like an energy big, which doesn't really work in the playoffs, and that's where they need their backup center to work in the playoffs. So that's that he could be like a Montrezl Harrell elsewhere, or more like a Moussa Diabate, someone who we forgot to mention during the Sabonis chat. But he could do that elsewhere. I don't think that is what's needed or works for this OKC team.
Yeah. I mean, because without J-Dub, those instances where they went small didn't look great with J Will at the 5, because he's like a center still. He's still like an undersized center, right? Whereas the Knicks have had some success, for example, playing with Wemby on the floor, but with like OG Anunoby at the 5, or an OG Anunoby sized player at the 5.
That's more of an OG Anunoby note though, maybe.
Yeah,
isn't it?
for sure. But I think that's the playoff. Like, if you're thinking about the playoffs, like Thomas Olber probably isn't the answer there.
That's I'm just scrolling through the rumors here.
Wait, I think my mic just cut out. Can you hear me?
You're coming up.
Cool.
The Grizzlies have zoned in on Cameron Boozer. That's likely going to be the third pick. Again,
nice.
it could be muck around. But yeah, I think it's going to be Cam Boozer, and then they're going to look at drafting a point guard 16th, with the angle being replacing their starting point guard Ja Morant when he eventually leaves. There hasn't been much Ja Morant rumors, or many Ja Morant rumors. What about him to Miami if Miami gets outbid for Giannis?
I mean, I guess makes sense. He's exactly the sort of
so true
flagging superstar who would go to Miami, and they'd I don't know,
make him run laps.
Yeah, and they'd finish 8th again.
Yeah.
Wait, do they have the old Grizzlies offensive coach, or have I made that up?
Thomas Isalo.
Yeah.
Wait, they do. Miami does.
Yeah, who Ja Morant refused to play for. So,
that angle's still there. I just said the F word, so 23-47. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
I don't think so, man. I think some of this, Giannis / draft stuff will actually probably be clear after the finals.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I mean, I don't think the Spurs will do anything drastic if they lose, but I think if the Knicks lose, they maybe could. You know, it's been a couple goes with this team.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think being up 3-1, don't overreact.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
No,
if you fall apart after a 3-1, it's like nothing's wrong with you.
Well, or you go get Kevin Durant. So,
Yeah. How's your basketball team, Marco? All right, now let's see if this outro sounds good, fading us away.
Wow.
Marco, I'll speak to you next time.
Peace. Nice.